I can't hear you. All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Krusty Krab. Welcome to your monthly Water Tribe report. Yes, we did have, I think, possibly the greatest cartoons as children. That's totally not biased, just because I'm using my own experience and what I remember recently. Yeah, we're going to be doing Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. This is Virgo season. And I kind of want to reflect right now. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Shout out to the water sign. Shout out to those of you guys still tuning in and watching. You know what I mean? I want to remind you. Actually, you don't need a reminder. But yeah, I just want to share in this space with you, whether you're running a sprint or you're running a marathon, however you are partaking of this life experience, welcome. Yeah, this Virgo season for water signs are the air houses. So earth signs for water signs are air houses. So the physiology of earth is the communication channel for emotion. Bars, I think, not really, but yes. And we're going to talk about Virgo. And how this is going to affect the water signs. Rising, sun, natal, progressed. If I'm North Node Pisces, should I be watching Pisces? Great question, Bonnie Jean. When I do these in relation to planets and points, we are calculating the angle of them. So, for example, for Pisces, Virgo season is 180 to 210 degrees. So relative to what degree you have anything in Pisces, we will be calculating the sun's subsequent opposition to it, right? If you had like a 20 degree, then when Virgo gets 20 degrees, Virgo. So this is why I put the range 180 to 210. At least as far as what's activating. And if you do watch your North Node, because yes, new destiny checkpoint, the North Node Pisces, you're going through a nodal return. You can watch Pisces, but you want to do it as if Pisces is your first house, right? You don't have to do it as Pisces is your first house. Just any planets that I say, I will be talking about the angle being taken towards them. And you'll see. So yeah, you actually can. For those of you who have planets in the water signs, the sun is going to really let you know what you will be aware of. So the angles to your sun, I will be showing you how you will be aware of that relative to the natal, your progress, to the moon, what you're going to feel, right? And to the rising, where it's actually playing out for y'all. Okay. This is where it's cool to like mix and blend multiple layers here. Like I like to, no problem, Bonnie. It's kind of fun when you can kind of blend them. So like you can look at the transits in relation to your sun. So you can run transits, of course, and calculate where the current planets, shout out to you, Jazz, thank you, are transiting relative to your awareness, right? What angles they're making to your sun, and then where all of that falls in your chart, like what houses those angles fall into, which is also pretty cool. And yeah, so we're going to start with Cancer, the holy ones, Cancer rising, Cancer sun, Cancer moon. I appreciate water signs because they always remind me of how insensitive I am and how much of a possibly horrible person I may be. When I just see the depth of how deeply like water signs can care for others, or at least how like passionate or deep like water signs can definitely go into and feel stuff. Whenever it comes time to like match them on that level, I predictably, if not all the time, just come back with just the most insensitive, unemotional advice, reactions. I don't know if there's a fly on the wall, but like let a water sign like, so shout out to the Fury Soldier. Like he'll be really like taking his time to just be like, yo, I'm feeling the vibes, bro. Like I'm really feeling all this heaviness and all this, you know, so he's trying to put into words like what it's like to go through, moon in Capricorn, what it's like to go through these deepening feelings. And all I can tell him is, just get out your head. Yeah, you'll be all right. You know what I mean? Just, don't let yourself. And I'm not realizing till after, oh, you know what? Like, this is someone who actually feels deeply, and I'm just telling them to just stop feeling. And it's like, oh, yes, it just kind of reminds me, damn. Yeah, that's because you an OG, Kobe. You got the Capricorn. You got the the Capricorn squad. All right, the Capricorn is gonna be pretty cold. But that being said, you know what I mean. And then you got the Scorpio moon too. Scorpio is ice cold. It could be, people say it's like the fire of the water signs, but I've always seen Scorpio as like the coldest zodiac sign ever. Fixed water, ice, but yeah, with that being said, Gemini definitely could be cold. It could be like a cool breeze. Shout out to the moon and caps. But Cancer, congratulations, you are leveling up. You are expanding your psychic powers, and let me not say your psychic powers, because you actually have super strength. You are a psychic power. You are the psychic power. You are the holy power. Now, for the purposes of this analogy, we are just going to represent you as holy water. Okay. First of all, this is actually going to be really cool because you could have gone through this before, but it's almost as if, and when I say you could have gone through this before, you could have activated what you're activating this season before, but I think you wanted to give yourself more time to really like demonstrate what you're stepping into. And why I'm saying you want to give yourself more time and you could have done this before, you're psychic as fuck. Like, I think I want to be clear here. Cancer is always seen as emotional, and I see it as psychic. Like, yeah, Cancer. I could show you countless videos of Cancer's suns and especially moons like crying. Once I started to really look into it, I'm like, oh, y'all really get like, it's a theme. Even Cody Rhodes, who I realize is a Cancer sun. Like and not in a weak way too. They can cry very powerfully, but like that's very interesting. But like I don't see that as entirely, even though they get that reputation of being like a crybaby or whatnot. Cancer is psychic to me, and when you're psychic, you're not just empathic. You process and can directly feel emotions much more powerfully and subtly than the other, and that may make you moody. Cancer is also ruled by the moon. The moon changes zodiac signs every 2.5 days. So your ruler, and I don't mean ruler as in like that, but like the landlord. Let's just say the ruler of the sign is the landlord, right? Is constantly shifting emotions, and you're constantly feeling other people's emotions. And then Cancer is really that first zodiac sign that really steps into being misunderstood, because this is a zodiac sign of privacy, right? Like when you take a shower, when you're soaking in your bath, you don't necessarily want everyone in your neighborhood looking at you, right? That would just be like an invasion of privacy, let's say, versus the 10th house, Capricorn. Like this is where you go out to work and you say hi to everyone you're working with or whatever. But when you think of Cancer as an actual sign, this is the function of feeling, right? And you're tapping into emotions and an understanding of yourself that comes from a much deeper place. And given that all this is inerted, given that this is like an ocean that, you know, can contain much deeper parts of yourself you're not even conscious of, this is what now opens up a much darker sense of this sign. Okay. So I really was just rambling right now, but you could have activated what you're activating now much earlier. I would say even back as far as 2023. But now that you've expanded what more you can tap into and how much more you can really express more of who you are, feel more of who you are. Now it's time to really enact this. And what I mean by enact is you're activating abilities, like psychic abilities. I don't want to say psychic ability though, because you're psychic. So you're activating magical abilities, real mastered magic abilities, right? And I don't really want to compromise here. This is actually kind of troublesome because you guys are already psychic. Like the whole theme around this third house Virgo and then North Node Pisces, Saturn, right, is you are completely imagineering an entirely new and unlocked philosophical approach around how you teach and show others that you actually see through your third eye. Because this season, you're activating a mastery of abilities you've already had mastered since 2000, since 10 years ago, 20 years ago. What is it? Yeah. So it's 2025, since like 2015, and even 2016 when Jupiter went through Virgo. So, since 2023, which is why I said you could have done this sooner, right? Since 2023, you began the process of like doing major construction on your third eye. You were actually tested on how well you can trust the beliefs that make up your way of life, right? The beliefs in Pisces that make up your ninth house, right? The Saturn through the ninth house, before now it's in Aries. That's like constructing your reputation. Over the next 2 years, your reputation will be tested. Your authority will be tested. And it is the process of you actually achieving milestone victory and coming into being an authority And because your 10th house is in Aries Cancer, this is you becoming the sole individual authority. So like from 2 years from now, people have to go to you, to your field, because you're the only one who really is like that motherfucker at what you do. And like they can get second opinions, but you're going to, these periods involve being tested with how well you interface with how your legacy, your reputation, how that's whatever. And the reason why that's important is because you're applying your philosophy through the ninth house, right? The beliefs that you, based off of sixth house Sagittarius, right? The way you create your routine, how are you really forming your way of life? Now that's what makes this unique, because Cancer has this ninth house in Pisces. So the way you really form this way of life is through metaphysical phenomena beyond the physical. This is why Cancer gets gaslighted insanely. I still believe Pisces might be the most misunderstood sign, but I maintain that Cancers are the most gaslighted zodiac sign of all time, because the primary function of Cancer and how Cancers express this is fundamentally rejected by postmodern science and society. So there's a certain way with which we're all expected to act that will be easy for a Libra, that will be easy for a Capricorn, but it's going to be very difficult for Aries or a Cancer, but mainly a Cancer, because the way we even talk, right? And also the way we keep certain things private and hidden. Cancer now commits the sin of omission. And when I mean they're gaslighted, you can have a conversation with Cancer and they're going to tell you how you feel. And real time, the person has to lie to you and be like, I'm not feeling that. Like, what do you mean? And that be a part of normal conversation. So now there is this like unconscious facet where I have to engage in this social construct with you, but then I also have to pretend that you're not feeling the way you do. And that can, these are just minute factors, multiply that a lot, that brings a lot of anxiety to water signs out of their element, right? So when I say that they have to realistically form their way of life beyond, the physical, the archetype as Cancer, as the psychic, right, puts Pisces of imagination in their ninth house, their house of higher education, but really their philosophy, right? We call this the ninth house, your third eye. So the psychic, of course, would see through their third eye. And the reason why I say that is the third house is the lower mind. The third house is your immediate environment. The third house is your neighborhood. The ninth house is an international market. It's long distance travel. It's higher education. It's the higher mind. It's where this is why Gemini and Leo is going to be gossip and drama, right? The third house is the lower world. This is where we talk about, did you hear what happened last week? And she said this about him and blah, blah, blah. This is why some signs don't like the third house. They don't do small talk, right? Like a Scorpio rising that has Capricorn in the third, or a Virgo rising with Scorpio in the third, or even Cancer rising with Virgo in the third, that, y'all are going to be a lot more analytical and critical around what you're even sharing with people, and much more finicky. And I'm going to share why that's very important. So the ninth house is the higher mind. This is not the lower mind based off of what you're analyzing and seeing. This is the I, that synthesizes the meaning, right? I'm correlating the Sag house I see to the third eye. Thank you, bro. Right? So this is why Cancer is the psychic. And listen, I hate to snitch on you, Cancer. I'm not snitching, okay? But a lot of you guys don't know. Cancer is like actually psychic. Like listen, I'm kind of naive. I like to just give it away. I hope I'm not offending anything, but water signs swear they slick. Okay. And earth signs, Virgo and Capricorn, they kind of be doing this too. Cancer is fucking psychic. They're reading your mind. They can feel your feelings. Like the Cancer you're talking, you have to understand, Cancer is like the ocean. So you have a shallow depth and then you have like a deep depth. The good thing about Cancer is they'll take their time with you. They'll have you float in the shallow waters. And, you know, Scorpio is like a snorkel deep sea diver. So like they'll just go deep, but you know, they'll be chill. They'll know you don't want to go too deep and they'll make sure you're comfortable and they'll make sure once they have you at the deep end, they'll chill with you a bit. And once they got your zoom, they sucked you down. Boom. Oh, not sucked. They brought you like boom, you've drowned. Boom, it is what it is. But I'm not saying that they're dangerous, even though they have the highest statistical percentage of murders by crimes of passion. But I will say that these people are really psychic. And I'm going to say that they can read your mind. They can hear your thoughts. They know how to, in real time, insert suggestions to you. So you actually think you came up with an idea, right? But you did this. And when you make them aware that you know they do that, they'll be like, oh, don't worry. Scorpio does this too, but Scorpio is evil when they do it. We do it to help you, right? Like these are the type of people that these people are. Like these people have a psychology where they're not going to tell you the fact that they have some psychic ability, insight, or intuition. 12th house Gemini as well. So I didn't want to snitch because some of them can act. You have the Cancers who are openly psychic and they probably read tarot cards and they're open about their spirituality. And then you have the Cancers who act like they're 3D. You have to be very careful. That's what I'm saying. If you think every Cancer is emotional, Cancer is not as emotional as much as they are psychic. And we're going to talk about possibly evil Scorpio. Scorpio is either pure or pure evil. There's no in between. And that's the thing. You need to know the type of Scorpio Pokemon you're chilling with because they're on a whole nother level. And like they can move like an elite super agent. So like Scorpio is the type of sign that could be your friend for a few weeks, but they've already planned your murder. So you want to make sure they're like the pure good Scorpio. Then you're in good hands. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But see, when we deal with the water signs, right? The water signs know how to inert how they really feel. They can hide it within their waters and they embody emotions, right? So they come off as emotional, but we all know it's really the fire signs that are actually really the most emotional. Like this is why water and fire beef, because water is super effective against fire signs, and they know how to, right? So that's the thing. This is what I always love to say with water signs, guys. Cancers are actually more similar to air signs, or water signs are actually more similar to air signs than they are fire signs, guys. Because Cancer is going to openly cry and they're going to be emotional, but inside they're like air signs. Inside they're like air signs. And you need to understand this. Some of these people are kind of cold-blooded, but you won't know because they can share their feelings very sincerely. And it doesn't always have to be an act. Like they represent the principle of sincerity, right? But like if you understand, like Cancer's fourth house is Libra, right? Scorpio's fourth house is Aquarius. Yes, inside they're laughing at you. And if you do not know this, you may not know this. Okay? Some of these water signs can have you in the palm of their hand. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do the next day and how I have to do it. Oh my God, that's so sad. We can give you like $500. Oh my God, we'll see what we can do. And the whole time in their head, they're like, wow, they really think I'm that sad. I was really just expressing my tears. Like air signs. Yes, they clown you. Listen, water signs do more than clown you internally. We all have the internal roast session, but it's different for water signs. It's almost a little alien. I need you to understand this. They're actually surprisingly detached, and them crying is really just them expressing how they feel. They're not afraid to express how they feel. And I think people mistaken that for them really being like you can see Cancer cry and be completely broken, but they're actually pretty balanced inside. Like they're actually pretty cool. They just really wanted to step into their feelings. This is not like this is not like fire signs. Okay, the fire sign is gonna be passionate, like, nah, I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care. Or they might let a tear out, like, I don't care. It is what it is, right? But they're water signs on the inside, bro. Like, really, when no one's looking, it's like, like, yes, okay. Like, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. Anyone who can cry from a detached space, you don't want to underestimate, is all I'm saying. Is all I'm saying. Yes, that shit threw me off guard. I had no idea. I was like, damn, this changed the way I look at it. Yeah, so basically what makes Cancer the psychic is that their ninth house is Pisces. So they use their imagination to see through their third eye. Okay. It's a metaphysical outlet to help form their way of life. And this can just represent someone who is going to weather through an organized religion or, spirituality, a spiritual practice through the sixth house and the ninth house, kind of engage in ways to come into a vision of events or a higher vision of where to take their life through, insights, beliefs. But let's simplify this. They see through their third eye with their imagination. They're picking up on insight and information. And then they have the third house in Virgo. So they're able to translate what they're picking up through their imagination into reality. Okay. They're able to imagine, you know what? Yeah, this podcast isn't going to last. Like they're going to split up. Like, for example, Charlemagne the God did this. Charlemagne the God, who is clearly psychic, months before predicted that certain people were going to split up their podcast. And sure enough, it happened just like that. And that was he probably was just guessing, right? It's not like he was trying to, let me consult my psychic senses. But like, it's a thing, guys. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's so much of a thing that you wouldn't notice because we live in a materialist, reductionist universe. I'm sorry. We live in a postmodern, materialist, reductionist influenced place that scoffs at such things and may not necessarily take into account how casually people with these placements, Cancer rising and Sun especially, do this casually, like all the time. So Saturn since 2023 has wrapped around the discipline and integrity through which you can actually control this connection with based off on what you believe philosophically, religiously, right? How you've been translating that through your mindset. And I want to kind of emphasize once again that third house Virgo is now the analytical, critical mindset that takes these abstract beliefs and is able to discern how that makes sense here, right? So they're imagining, wow, what's wow, I saw Betty. I saw Betty, and Betty told me that you have food in the oven. You have like a hot dog in your microwave right now. And the person who Cancer is saying that to is like, you're literally talking about my grandma, and I did not have a hot dog ever since she died, except for this morning. And it's literally in my oven right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not some fugazi fraud shit. There is a translation here. There's a precision through which you're seeing beyond this realm and being able to translate it. So the reason why this is significant is now that you are expanding the depth of feeling and potency with which you will be able to now, even a specialist. Cancer is the specialist, by the way. The reason why you will be able to fuel, because feelings really, if you think about it, are the fuel. Aries is the cardinal principle of authenticity through instinct and raw power, and Cancer is the function of feeling. So by feeling, we're able to tap into our psychic power. And if you think about it, when you imagine something, it stimulates your thoughts, which stimulates your feelings. And the more powerful you can feel what you're imagining, the more you can really, have this guide your actions, inspire you, push you through. Okay. So now what makes this very significant is the third house of abilities and Virgo of mastery is having you actively activate new abilities. And these new abilities are taking into account the opposition of Saturn that since 2023 has mastered your ability to use your third eye. Okay. I'm simplifying it here. We're going to say the ninth house Pisces is you have your third eye, right? And you're holy water. Okay. So what I broke down to you is that from 2023 to now, you literally created hardware. All right. And the art of manifesting, the feeling is the secret. This is what makes Cancer, even in the Scorpio, the secret. This is why water signs, I feel like, are automatically good at manifesting. Fire and water signs, but earth signs too. It honestly doesn't matter your element, but like I feel like water signs do have the cheat code when it comes to manifesting, because you guys are constantly in tune with your true core emotions, and you can really do this real time, which is that third house Virgo. So I'm taking my time with this Cancer transit because I want to make sure I get it through to you guys that you are activating supernatural magic abilities that now express your own psychic power, or the psychic power that you are, that is fundamentally in coming into this new world order, going to change drastically the way at will you can now practically use these psychic powers. Because I want to open up to the idea that when you would have predictions that come true, it might have come here and there, right? You might have tapped into it. You might have these experiences where it's like, wow, I know I'm psychic. That happened to me and that happened to me. And now over the past 2 years, you have constructed hardware to where actually you can do it at will now. Actually, it's really just as simple as to tapping in to your imagination, and you can practically use this to do anything from finding lost keys to hitting the right roulette number every time. Because you have mastered a new ability. This is like over the next 20 days, you practically and realistically master clairvoyance. Like, we can talk about clairvoyance in a sense where it's like, oh yeah, I can see the future. I can see what's going to happen. Right? Like, yeah, I predicted, but like, what if you really mastered clairvoyance? Like, what if you were able to at will just look 5 seconds into the future? What if you were able to practically every time you wanted to realize, what's this date going to be like if I go out with this person? And then you look and you're like, oh, that looks horrible. And I don't like the different possibilities. I'm not going to go on this date. Okay. Cancer, you've been doing this your whole life. Yes. Thank you, Natalie. Remote viewing. Like, there's with the South Node, every single ability you've ever had in a past life is unlocking in order to re-innovate this philosophy. Because now this is going to change your philosophical approach around what you believe, because you're out here busting new psychic abilities. And you're like, whoa, I just used my abilities to win $500 because I saw the winning numbers that happen tomorrow. Listen. That's why I'm actually geeked to do this, because this is unprecedented. Having Uranus in your 12th house, that's going to psychologically transform the way you unconsciously even think with your thoughts. Like, you're repatterning in the most unconventional way unconscious competence of a supernatural sense of clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance. And that's why I want to use this way to say it, because all this shit is what you're being told only exists in movies and science fiction. So take for that what you will, but by the time Virgo season is done, you're going to be reminded that you really got it like that. And what's even crazier is that dark balsamic moons, no joke. That is a fact. What's even crazier is that, of course, like, as you kind of activate these abilities, once we're in Sagittarius season, you're going to take these new abilities and ascend your lifestyle, because this is you. That's when over the next 3 months, you're going to be like, oh, okay, if I can do this, then I can use it for this, that. You're going to have 3 months to do that. But this is the season where you really break this through. And you're breaking, and that's why it was very, and that's what I was going to say. First of all, you guys have done this your whole life. You guys have actually done this your whole life. So that last example I gave, right, where it's like, you can look into the future and see if it's worth it to go to a party, or to go out with a friend, or you're just so excited when your friends cancel plans. That's actually because even before you mastered this ability, you could just feel it. You would just feel it. You'd be like, oh, I don't feel like going. I feel like staying in. And it's a joke. You were called the homebody. But actually, at a level like quicker than your brain can process, you already saw the future. You felt the future. You didn't want that. And it registered as just like a really weird feeling, like, whoa. Now you're mastering that ability. Now you are actively mastering that ability. And you're going to activate how to begin to really translate this. And that's where the opposition to Saturn and Pisces is making sure these beliefs over the past 6 months you supported. You supported the belief that you really are psychic as fuck and you can tap into the divine. You teach the divine. The high priest, the high priestess has the highest connection to God, the most divine connection to God. 9th house Pisces. That's how I like to say that. So you're tying it, and I'm just using this archetypally, right? How the Cancer native uses this, whether for good or evil, is on them. But I have to emphasize alone the nature of the opposition. the reason why Pisces opposes Virgo is you are drawing on that abstract formlessness to now put it perfectly into form through Virgo, literally. And this is where you can spend every day practicing it. By the time we get to the full moon in Pisces, you will have begun to break through the activation of this ability. Okay. You may even already know what it is you are activating, because over the past 6 months, you've seen echoes of this. You've actually demonstrated it. And the only purpose of this is to add consistency, which now that we're 6 months later is going to break you through and now start to step into consistency. So in about a week from now, when we get into the moon, no, in a couple of days from now, when we come into the moon in Sagittarius, you're going to start to see this ability activate. Sag is now in your 6th house as a Cancer rising, or it's 150 degrees of integration. And what you're going to begin to understand is, all right, I'm starting to really practice developing this new ability and technique. Now the moon in Sag is going to show you how it is you are integrating this new mindset and ability into your behavior and into your lifestyle. It's like, okay, we've activated this week the understanding that I can actually guess what number people are thinking about. I'm like 5 and 5 so far. Like I'm not entirely sure how I know this yet, but they were thinking about 5, 26, 7, 8, right? And now when the moon is in Sagittarius, I'm going to the arcade and I'm realizing, oh, snap, there's a way I can apply this here at the arcade. I'm going to the grocery store and I'm seeing, oh, snap, there's a way I can apply this ability here in this grocery store. We're now beginning to see how this new mindset and ability can actively ascend the way I even live my life, because now we're applying this new mindset. Now I'm seeing where I can integrate this. And then during the full moon, this is going to now completely transform my beliefs, because I have formed a new routine around how I can continue to develop this ability. What I believed before is changed because I just spent the past 2 weeks using this new ability to win a lot of money, to know what people were thinking, to save my friend from a car crash because I told them not to drive because I saw them. I had a dream that they might get into a car crash. Do you get what I'm saying? And I need to let you know, yes, this is happening this year because the South Node, and because Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, Pluto's in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini. This is where we get exponentially supernatural throughout the rest of the decade. Like, this is where you start to really come into a more active demonstration of these facets. This is the first year that's going to break you in over the rest of the decade and the next 90 years. So yeah, once we get to the moon in Gemini, this is what's going to release all these unconscious doubts and habits about you not being psychic and psychic abilities not being real. And the reason why this is important is a lot of the conditioning that you might have gone through much of your life. Like, earth signs don't always get that conditioning. Earth signs really take a much more grounded approach towards reality that makes them more aligned with the nature of this earth dimension. Water signs constantly share emotions that will feel and seem irrational to society around them. So many of you may have developed unconscious doubt around your own feelings because every time you've expressed how you've truly felt, you were told that you were fucking delusional. You felt the weirdness of people looking at you and maybe not really understanding you because, like, you know, you could feel people being disingenuous and trying to act like, yeah, I know what you mean. And it has conditioned you to now unconsciously believe and think that you can't even really trust the deepest, most truest part of you. And all that's going to be blown away. And that's just one example. I'm not saying that that has to be with everybody, but there's this dynamic that does follow the water signs relative to your environment. And by the time you complete this transit, by, of course, the moon in Gemini and coming into Cancer, where you're going to resurface this evolution. By the time we come into the last new moon that's going to test these beliefs, this is where you're going to activate, of course, this ability, but without training wheels. Okay. So you're very rapidly developing a brand new activation of these abilities. Okay. It's like now over the next 3.5 weeks, you're kind of getting it right. And then at the end of the month, you got it and you're activating it in that level. Because why? Now, when we go into Libra season, you're not just practicing how to activate these abilities anymore. Okay. Now it's time to really apply it. Now I have to save my friend who has a gun to his head. And how do I apply what I've mastered to not only turn the situation around, but to save the day and enter my superhero arc? I'm just joking. But like, yeah, you're going to apply this mindset towards your relationships and then create new foundations and really innovate your comfort zone around how the game has changed for you because you got new fancy psychic powers. Okay. So next we have Scorpio. All right. Scorpio, Virgo season is your house of day ones and acquaintances. So this is the part of the year where you reward your real friends for being real friends. Leo season, of course, was you coming into these accomplishments. And it's important to talk about this because the supernatural breakthrough arc you're going to have for the next 19 years begins to break through in Leo season, which is your career house. And then the completion of such will end in your first house. So when we're namely, basically this Pluto opposition. So when we have the Pluto conjunction and it opposes in Leo, it's going to start in your 10th house, ending your first, starting your fourth, ending your breakthrough your 10th. So what that's going to look like over the next 20 years is awakening so much more intensity relative to how you're breaking out either into more positive or negative reputation stampers. I just made that word up, but like breakthroughs in your career, basically, and intense transformations in how you really believe in yourself and express that, especially if you have a 10th house sun, shout out to Pursuit of Godliness. So relative to, of course, this 11th house Virgo, this is going to take the passion that comes every year of you updating what you're putting out there. And I like to think of the 10th house as achieving goals and setting new goals for the next year, right? But you're completing what you started last year, November. And then we come into Virgo and you apply that by producing the real experience of these achievements. So, I mean, as such, this isn't like Cancer where you're learning a new ability. This is you coming into the reality of what you've achieved since last year. And based on everything you've done last year, who's really in your corner? If we were to just speed up the flow of time and we just kept on speeding to every year around this time, right? It's really just going to be a montage of who's your friend this year, who's your friend next year, who's your friend next year, who's your friend the next year. A lot more friends, a lot less friends, but it's Virgo, right? So Scorpio probably started off a lot and it gets shorter and it gets shorter and it gets shorter and it gets shorter because Virgo will be weeding away the fakes. 11th house Virgo to me just sounds like the most furious, like the most vigorous block button. Like you do not hesitate to use the block button in real life, though. In real life, though, like not just on social media, like blocked, and you touch their forehead. But at the same time, it's still very real. It's really social, and I wanted to highlight that because after that, you're going to really release in Libra season, which is going to release your beliefs around who you no longer even connect with, and your orientation around who you socialize with or not. Okay. And then you're going to come back to Scorpio season and complete this supernatural awakening before you do it again. And in order to make even greater sense of that, the Pluto in the fourth house in Scorpio is awakening a supernatural foundation within you. And when I say within you, it's actually, I think, one of the most unique transits there. I've struggled to really describe it. But Libra went through this 2008 up until now with the Capricorn fourth house. It's just Aquarius is now such a more ridiculous level of this. I can imagine this could really have its hand in working to expose hidden secrets that were private to you, private secrets hidden to you, family drama, right? That's really the difficulty with this here, because the relationship between what is awakening within you versus what you can realistically reveal to the public, this is going to begin to really affect your career. And this can do so in the most amazing way, because this can actually clear space within your private world and really prepare for you to use that renovated, more clear space to, of course, come into a lot more success, right? But that's me trying to say it in a practical way, like the textbook way. This is what I pick up about it intuitively or truly. I'm seeing Men in Black agents. I'm seeing super secret spies. I'm seeing espionage on a diabolical level where you have hidden family secrets. I'm seeing like anime plot point tropes where your grandma or your family members out of nowhere are telling you stuff like, all right, we've hidden this secret from you since you were 2 years old, but we're actually from a secret family that has like crazy shit. I'm seeing like private wars that you may not even let others know you're privy to, right? I'm also seeing abduction by aliens. Like this is over the next 20 years here. It doesn't have to really be that dramatic, nor would I hope that it is. But there is this like extreme intensity that can make it difficult to live with others right now, or could give a certain flavor relative to how it is you trust people. And that's where Jupiter has expanded your trust and comfort zone in the 8th house through Gemini. Now that it's in the 9th house in Cancer, it is expanding your philosophy and your philosophical approach, but your third eye, right? And the cool thing about that is now Cancer is going to show the meaning of belief through their feelings, and Scorpio shows the meaning of emotions, right? If you think about what Scorpio represents, wisdom, psychology, right? The study of the psyche. Scorpio teaches psychology, right? The study of the psyche. 9th house, Cancer. Cancer is the psychic, the power of the psyche, the power of the mind. So through a psychological or psychoanalysis, you take the 9th house of Cancer and you show the meaning of one's feelings. So this is where like a Scorpio sun, a Scorpio moon can see your 9th house. Like a Cancer can see your beliefs relative to what you're feeling. Scorpio can see the meaning of your feelings, meaning they can see your emotions, y'all, relative to how you socially engage with them. And they do this psychoanalytical exploration within moments. And then can expertly control your mind because they have third house Capricorn. Now, third house Capricorn to me means mind control. And whether this is through very subtle impressions that could be made, maybe even unconscious to them, it's not like a micromanaging control, but it is definitely the real deal. And I would say also a major point with which, with the third house Capricorn, we see the most serious about small talk. It's actually very difficult for Scorpio to make small talk because everything that makes up their thoughts is going to be some of the most serious things. That was probably a horrible explanation. But regardless, now that Uranus has left your seventh house and has innovated all of the crazy people who've tried to come into a relationship with you, but also the natural value in your partnerships, and has kind of made more innovative this quality, it is applying this relative to your boundaries, as well as who you talk to and what kind of wealth, what kind of cryptos you're investing in, what kind of unconventional securities or ideas, and you are investing your vision in, because you guys have fire magic. Scorpio has chaos magic. Sagittarius in their second house. So how do you invest this into, yes, how do you invest chaos magic into the ideas of others chaotically or unconventionally, which is going to really look like, who are you giving the sauce and the secrets to? Because you are the sauce. Cancer is the juice. You're the sauce, right? Who are you really dropping this? I know on 2 occasions, like I've always kind of said, there are 2 Scorpio women who actually have Pisces moons, and they literally told me some of the most profound things I've ever heard, and then went ghost. Like I never heard from them again. And it's very interesting that y'all have the ability to do that. I'm not even going to speak more on that, but like, yeah, chaos magic. I thought that was Pisces. Absolutely not. Pisces is divine magic. Pisces is like that movie magic that doesn't really exist here in reality, but Pisces can pull off, which is really pissing me off. Pisces is an extension of chaos magic, and I would say, yeah, Sagittarius for sure is chaos magic. I really put that, but you're not entirely wrong to think it is Pisces. You can do it with Pisces as well. But yeah, dude, Pisces is also dream magic. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of put all that into perspective, the journey from Pisces, where you're unlocking new creativity. You're unlocking your fish tard magic that enables you to make anything you desire come true. Imagination magic, music, right? How creatively can you, through your imagination, tap into your talents? You're unlocking all this discipline around your talents, because the last 2 years you unlocked a new lifestyle. North Node in your 6th house in Aries has made way for you, now that you have unlocked consistency in this lifestyle, to discipline this lifestyle. Because in another 4 years, you're going to be reinitiating the relationship contracts, and you're going to be upgrading and updating the standards with which you're going to be raising the standards of your partnerships. Why? Because you're going to be raising the standards of your lifestyle. You're about to be putting in 2.5 years of hardcore work to really own how much more autonomy you have over your health, your routine. And that's going to make you raise the standards of your partnerships when Saturn goes into Taurus. So now that you finished it through Pisces, you've disciplined how talented you are, how imaginative and creative you are. And you're going to use that to now fill in the lines of your lifestyle, to apply that belief towards where you live and how you live. And now that you have unlocked this routine, you're going to unlock all of your talents in relation to this. And all of this is to prepare you for the South Node in Leo. Like, Leo is getting prepared to debut a brand new character, but you're getting prepared to debut a grand definition of your legacy. Legacy defining moments are happening for you 2026 and 2027. And everything since 2022 is merely just leading to that. It was breaking through and harvesting to that. And it's going to complete the evolution cycle you started since 2018. So this is where now the South Node in your 11th house is unlocking everybody who's in your corner to help support this new creative project. Because the North Node in the 5th, it's not only just a great way to drop a creative project. For some of you, this is going to be the transit that enables you to make a living doing what you love to do. For some of you, this is your dreams. This is going to be the transit over the next 6 months that enables you, through you just doing what you love, to make an independence or independent living off of what you love to do. Especially if you're already doing it, this is going to enable you to complete that cycle. All right. Because this is going to be the next 6 months where you unlock it. You make it a thing. It's happening. You're going to start to realize, oh, wow, I'm doing something with this. And then the next 2.5 years is where you maintain the consistency of that by having it form into your routine as Saturn will go through the 6th. And Neptune is going to reimagine this. So now you're living more the life you've always dreamed you can live. So all you have to do really is see who has your corner and your back. See who has your back. Because the last 6 months ago, you, of course, activated what you believed you can achieve, how creative you believe you could be, and how you could, over time, connect with the right people to support that. Now you're at the time where it's time for them to support that. So this is going to show you the new friends you're going to make, who's really in your corner, what you're really working on. And by the end of the year, Sagittarius, you're going to see the value of what you're working on. You're going to see how much you can realistically begin to make. And it's going to really change the game for you, because the moon in Sagittarius opposite Uranus in Gemini is going to show you how unconventionally now how you can tap into people, especially using certain apps and stuff. You can really facilitate these experiences through. All right. The full moon is going to really begin to harvest, of course, how much more creative you are and how you align that performance and creativity towards who you're aware is really, really has your back, like really supporting you. The South Node is the support from this real corner that, of course, will support your creativity, what you're performing to society around you. And I think that's going to be very powerful for you. So by the time we get into this final new moon, you're going to push forward and activate this to really now, over the next 6 months until March of 2026, get this into gear. And we'll be off to the races. And last but not the least, we have Pisces. Woo! So concerning Pisces, oh, I gotta do that. Oops. So concerning Pisces, right? We know Cancer is your 5th house. You are evolving your talents, right? And Cancer to me is the Cancer 5th house is the waterfall. It's the waterfall that personally takes this condensed fog and dream, this magic, and you fully express this perspective through your spirit, right? Through your emotions, through the function of feeling, right? Belief directs feeling. Well, feeling directs belief, but belief is the perspective that guides the direction you feel in, right? So based on who you believe you are, Pisces, it has been really influencing how it is you fully express your emotions, right? The less you believe yourself and the less you believe in yourself, the less you can tap into your fifth house Cancer, where you're fully expressing your emotions. The more you believe in yourself, the more creative you can be. And Saturn wants to know, who are you? It is retesting with the 2.5 years since 2023. It has tested your belief in yourself. It's made things more difficult, but did you let that stop who you believe you are? The difficulty was like having the faith to start a new business. And it does take 2.5 years to get it off the ground. Did you stay faithful? Are you believing more in yourself? Because it's going to go into Aries over the next 2.5 years, and you're going to begin to command this wealth. You're going to actually really begin to break the scene. And so Jupiter there in the fifth is evolving realistically how much more creative you are. Because, of course, back in 2022, when Jupiter was in Pisces, you had restarted this evolution cycle that you didn't start since back in 2010. Okay. And now at 2022, this puts you in a position to not only expand what more you can believe in yourself with, but with Neptune here, completely transcend this embodiment of divinity, right? But how do you be something that's invisible? How do you maintain an existence that 99.9999999% of people don't even see? How do you manifest original value when your very presence, which you can be aware shifts things together and connects things together, may really not even be believed in? And most importantly, how do you believe in yourself, even if you're the only one who believes in what you're doing? Okay. Pluto coming into your 12th in Aquarius and Uranus in your 4th house is unconventionally innovating the unconscious nature of your thought process and your knowledgeable beliefs. Okay. It is instituting an unconscious, competent claircognizance. This is actually going to be fucking insane because y'all have the ability to know without knowing, and you're tapping into the multiversal quantum association of realms and timelines, where you can literally perceive past, present, and future at once. And there is, of course, the anchoring of Saturn through your sign to make sure you don't really just be everywhere at once. In fact, I think that would be a really good movie to check into, because that's how you guys are going to really be moving. Sagittarius and Pisces, but everyone has the potential to, whatever that movie was, Everywhere. I need to watch that movie. I haven't watched that, but that movie, Everywhere, Everything, All at Once, where basically, Pisces, a lot of these synchronicities you're seeing are the infinite timeline facets of yourself that are doing the same thing in the moment. There is a version of you everywhere, all at once, that you are learning to tap into in order to engage in their ability. Like, there is a version of you. I heard it was such a good movie. I'm going to actually watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but there's a version of you that knows Kung Fu and is a Kung Fu master. And you are learning to, at will, tap into that version of you and kick ass while you were getting jumped. And now you just reverse jumped 6 people. Okay. And then there's a version of you that has mastered theoretical physics. And you use that version of you to cheat on your to ace your math test. What if you were able to, at will, tap into this multi-dimensional quality of yourself Oh, Jet Li, the one would be a good one too. All right, I need to see that one too. How would you actually tap in multidimensionally to this facet of yourself in order to access all of these points? And that's what Uranus and Pluto is reshaping. Pluto over the next 20 years, Uranus over the rest of the decade, and Neptune over 13 years, which is going to reimagine your worth and your wealth. So the North Node and Saturn is tying together all of the timelines, all of the relevant timelines that Saturn is with its Reaper scythe cutting. It's cutting cords and it's tying all these timelines together through you before it goes into Aquarius, because you are going to have the North Node Pluto 12th house activation. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're not going to see an astrologer tell you what that means. I know for a fact nobody knows what that means. Okay. You're not going to get a good interpretation of this. In fact, Kobe, you even confirm for me, because I could be wrong, and maybe I'm just tooting my own horn. But when people talk about the Aquarius transit in your 12th, like Pisces, you have Pluto in your 12th, I guarantee you they sound like they don't know what they're talking about. Like they're grasping for straws, like they're trying to like cookie cutter, like Pluto is judgment and awakening, and your 12th house is unconscious. So you're going to be like awakening unconscious habits, or you're going to be like, you know what I mean? Like I could be wrong. Some people are really nice with it, but do you get any guidance? Do people even touch that? Is there any Pisces where someone has told you what the 12th house Pluto is like for you in Aquarius that makes sense to you? That actually makes sense to you. And it is going to be different for every Pisces. That is true. Because let me just keep it a buck. You are in the midst of one of the most extraordinary sleeper cell agent awakenings than you have ever seen ever in your life. And if you understand, then by 2021 to 2023 was when you probably started to notice it. So like you have a celestial quality of unconscious interface, and there's a facet of you that you're not entirely conscious of unless you're with an Aquarius or you have an Aquarius moon. So Aquarius moon might feel it, but there is a facet of you that might constitute either a sense of doubt or you psyching yourself out constantly that's going to awaken and never go to sleep again. The best way I can say this is that there is the most diabolical sleeper cell agent that is either within you or you're going to see in your environment that is going to, from the next 2 years, change the way you even interact with reality, not even just people, reality. So the reason why I mentioned being with an Aquarius, this is a very dangerous connection. If you're Pisces rising, especially, because now Aquarius is your 12th house. If you're a Pisces sun, you will have Aquarius behind your sun, but you might not be a Pisces rising. So you might have a different rising angle to see this. But if you are a Pisces rising, the reason why this is important is because Aquarius is in your 12th house. Aquarius sees that sleeper cell. Aquarius and their sun is directly aware of this hidden knowledge. And the reason why that's important is the psychology of Pisces is they have this legendary perspective. First of all, it's extrasensory perception, but Pisces has this hidden nature to where they can know something and not know why they know. And this is going to be seen as delusion, even though they were right. And if you understand that that's 12th house Aquarius, right? The 12th house Aquarius, of course, is hidden knowledge. So the knowledge is claircognizantly functioning through their own unconscious mind. And that's what makes them divine. This is what enables them to be the dream, right? It's the highest level of this ESP. If the Aquarius person is also a Pisces rising, that's even deeper, but they are aware of their 12th house. I actually have a Pisces rising aqua friend, and he gives me some of the most deep insight, but it is a mysterious placement. They are aware of the collective unconscious. And the 12th house Aquarius is a very terrifying space, because and misunderstood space, because Pluto coming in here is going to make this much more intense. Basically, I think, do you guys know of is the movie? Let me know if you guys, and Giselle, let me know if you've experienced this too. But is it the movie Inception? What is that movie where they're in a dream space, but when in the dream, the people realize you're not in a dream, they start trying to kill you, right? It's almost as if it's an unconscious rejection towards a deviation from what the dream is. Is it Inception? I think it's Inception. It is Inception, okay? So the reason why this is kind of terrifying is life is a dream. We are within a collective dream right now, which is entirely persistent, but it's a persistent illusion. Nobody sees this more than Pisces, suns, moon, and risings, that, of course, are looking from outside the veil. You guys are beyonders in Marvels. You're not even here. You don't even really exist. I'm going to be completely honest. But like, you guys are literally, yes, it's the same as the Agent Smiths. So the reason why Pluto in the 12th could be very dangerous and terrifying for you is, first of all, we started this activation in January. So you're already seeing this. Aquarius season was the first season to show you that this isn't in your head. Okay. And if what I'm saying resonates with you, please comment Agent Smith, or please comment Inception. Since January, you started to notice that you awakening to the true nature of your existence beyond everything is starting to buckle the dream, and you're starting to see your 3D reality try and get you back asleep. It's like in Inception, they're trying to like low-key kill you. And if you tell other people, they're going to tell you you're delusional. That's just in your head. So it's almost as if you feel like there's no one who you can talk to, and you don't know who is really just the Agent Smith trying to like admit you, or who you can really trust, right? It's gonna feel like the Truman Show, my friend. And the purpose of this faith in yourself with Saturn through your rising is you're going through the final test of believing in yourself. Okay. A Leo with the Pisces rising, so also the main character. So if you commented Inception, you're starting to actually experience the dream program that is this waking illusion. And you're starting to, by now, and that's why Virgo season is important, because Virgo season is now, since the eclipse, your birthday, you're now breaking through, one, what relationships you're going to move forward with, right? And two, who is a part of the Truman Show and how. Okay. And why that's very important is a lot of the dreams you've had, a lot of the precognition you had. See, the police literally pulled up next to me when you said Agent Smith. Shit like that, that's situational, that people will say is just a coincidence, but you're very much so in tune to the program, and it's reacting to your most unconscious thoughts. So like Pisces, y'all are going through some really weird shit where it's like you're looking at people and it's almost like you can tell, were they just looking at me to get, no, that was just in my head, right? Like you're looking at people kind of react to your thoughts, like comment an exclamation, and this is going to sound mad schizophrenic and paranoid schizophrenic delusion, but I want to give it that vibe. I want you to comment an exclamation mark if at a higher frequency you can see people reacting to your thoughts. You can see people reacting to your emotions. Like you can do something like that where you try and mouth out something you see on the TV and your brain just tries to fit in what you're seeing. But like you can tell maybe perhaps no, right? Right? You can see that, right? It's almost as if like you're tapping into a whole different world within versus your 3D. And Virgo season is going to balance this for you. Now, what this can feel like is that people are telepathically listening to your thoughts, but in reality, in 3D, that person may not even have heard you, but the way they're reacting, it's like you're seeing their unconscious mind. So you're seeing people's soul and unconscious mind through their 3D actions. They may not even be aware that they did that. They may not even be aware that you said, yeah, that's why you a fat bitch. And then that woman looked at you. And she may not even have been looking at you. She may not even have heard you say that. That was her unconscious mind. Like you're seeing that facet of reality. You're seeing the collective unconscious play through other people that they're not even conscious of. Thank you. I'd be so scared to think, bro. Thank you. And this is why energy like this can manifest through escapism through drugs, alcoholism, addictions, visual and auditory hallucinations. And this is where, of course, your belief in yourself, what this is going to really facilitate, ironically, is putting you, I feel like this is just you suddenly realizing we've been doing that. Yes, Colby, yes. It took me 30 years to learn that this is the type of time y'all be on, and I don't even look at y'all the same anymore. It's like, holy shit. Okay, so, people have different levels of psychic abilities, but you guys aren't just hearing individual thoughts like cancers can specialize in. You're hearing the collective unconscious nature of everyone's thoughts and feelings and unconscious. And the reason why that's important is your relationship with this dynamic. The Leo Jupiter and the Leo South Node is going to unlock how creatively you can integrate a lifestyle with this in your sixth or with the Virgo signature for you to support this exploration into your unconscious, because we will have that Pluto conjunction to the North Node. Like the Pluto conjunct North Node is going to set this off for you. And to me, that looks like a sleeper cell agent I'm channeling something right now. So Pisces told me that for your protection, you made yourself forget your memories. You took a core part of your consciousness and you made sure that it would stay dormant and suppressed in case, since you were around evil people who were looking for people with gifted talents and abilities and could actually read people's minds and scan them. Pisces is also telling me that you have a very wonderful aura. And so you kind of, once again, suppressed it or delayed it back in time. And Pisces says that maybe this could have gotten in the way of like meaningful experiences you could have had, but now you're coming into it now. And once this unlocks, right, you're going to be integrating with this facet of your psyche that has been suppressed deep within your unconsciousness. And you're going to feel like you have regained memories of the ancient future and past that you have always known and you've seen synchronicity and points to. Yeah, so Stranger Things. But now it makes sense again. Like it's going to feel really weird. You're remembering something that you've always known for the first time ever. It's like you're back again for the first time, if that makes sense. And that's why, I can imagine Oh, nice. This is why, you know, people feel like this realm of the internet or this realm of discussion is just fraudulent. And that's your difficulty in Virgo season, to translate the factual basis through how you demonstrate these beliefs around who you are towards others. And now Saturn is going to end this new moon by you embodying at the final level this level of integrity. Okay. And how you activate, of course, how you express that towards others and define these partnerships. So Virgo season is adjusting your analysis around who you can trust. And that's where Uranus is integrating this unconventional shifting of your comfort zone. Because now the reason why Uranus wants to, of course, really revolutionize your comfort zone is because the nature with which you are interacting with the collective unconscious is speaking through you. So now you might be like, who am I really speaking to? Like, am I speaking to their 3D self or their higher self? And that's really a better way to say it. Like, you're talking directly to people's higher selves. You are directly impressioning their higher self and their unconscious. This is what's making people pretty uncomfortable talking to you, because you'll talk to someone's higher self and that'll make someone like, how did you know that I was planning to do this in my life? Or like, you're stimulating a facet of themselves that helps connect them to the higher part of themselves. And if they have resistance towards this facet, they're going to project that towards you. If they're actually connected to this facet, they're going to connect that towards you. And that's where in interfacing collectively with, you know, different individuals and socially, of course, that Libra crossover with the grand air trine we're going to come into will begin to transform your belief in yourself relative to how these boundaries being drawn in your dealings with others is taking this original value in Aries and directing it towards other people with relationships you're investing in. Okay. Mars is going through your 8th, and this is you running the gauntlet and making sure that bitch better have my money. All right. But really, actually, Mars is the god of war, and it's no different than a tax collector just getting that. But yeah, the opposition to Chiron is also going to really change a lot about how much more confident you are, of course, with your own valuing yourself. Chiron going through your second house in Aries. Oh, nice. Chiron going through your second house in Aries is putting you in a position to realistically, of course, you know, oh, thank God, to realistically put you in Chiron going through your second house in Aries is healing how much you know your worth. And when we started this, you might have struggled with feeling you were worth your services or your prices, really inventing original value and not allowing people to say you're delusional because of it, and feeling authentic about what you're worth. So yeah, that's really going to be what we step into. Herbal Connection, I got your Cash App. Absolutely. JF, we are doing live readings. For those of you who would like for me to read your chart, you are welcome to join the queue. At this point, we have finished doing the readings for each sign. So I might as well just jump into the live readings. But yeah, Pisces, basically, the eclipse is going to unlock relationships you're destined to be in that support who you are becoming. Very importantly, if these people are criticizing you, but not constructively, you're wasting your time with them. If they're criticizing or accepting you, but at least in a way that's constructive as well, then this might be someone who can help you be more of who you believe to be and support your beliefs about yourself. And so how well are you maintaining that integrity so that you can facilitate just that? All right. So we're going to start with Herbal Connection. Thank you. Let's see. Herbal Connection. Herbal Connection. Whoa. That was a sexy burp. I have mastered the sexy burp technique. All right. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay. So Nicole, I need set chart for chart. Okay. You sent the chart to my email. Oh, yes. Wait. Hold on. I don't think I received your email. So I will need your email at thepeacedealer.com. Yeah, it didn't come to my spam either. Yeah, so Nicole, please send me your chart. It says what? Whew. How do I do this? Huh? Oh, okay. Cancer Sun, Scorpio Moon, Leo Rising. So Nicole, as a Cancer Sun and a Scorpio Moon, you are pure holy water. Okay, you are pure sincerity. You are the sauce and the juice as the main character, which means you have Cancer in your 12th house, and you definitely feel this deeply. I fumble the assignment big time. Don't say that. Don't say, oh, I see what you mean. Oh, I see what you mean. Sweet, I did it wrong. No. Do you want me to send the difference from the website charge? No, absolutely. Unless you wanted something else, but you did not fumble assignment. You just gave me your chart. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Lewis, I got your PayPal. So let's see. Did I do that? Okay, so based on that, as a Leo rising, Virgo is your second house. And this is putting you in a position. Whoa. This is putting you in a position to realistically manifest new liquidity. Hey, Oka, yes, thank you. And to step you into more money, which as a Leo rising, Pisces being your 8th house, has been since March activating the cycle to correct and finalize your boundaries and unlock more intimacy relative to who you believe you want to develop your partnerships with, especially with Pluto that over the next 20 years will awaken your Aqua DC, since as a Leo rising, Aquarius is your 7th house. So that's very significant, by the way, because as a Leo rising, Pluto is in your 7th, Saturn finished through your 8th and will be now constructing your 9th, and Uranus, which left your 10th, is now based on that activation manifesting this initial base state of liquidity, unlocking with the eclipse the financial resources, your own creativity over the past 6 months will over the next 6 months produce so that you can reinvest them again with the final eclipse. And all of this is preparing you once again for 2026, 2027, June of 2026, all the way through 2027, where the North Node is going to unlock partnerships you're meant to unlock as we are debuting this next version of yourself with Jupiter in your first. So now that Cancer is evolving your sun and your 12th house, it's releasing old doubts and feelings you may have believed around who you were. Kind of like if you were in a different season series and you felt really good the first few seasons, but now coming into the finale of the show, you don't really feel as confident, not knowing that in another couple of years, you're going to start a brand new season series, signing a brand new contract, and you're going to be feeling so much more like yourself than you've ever felt. Of course, you know, this 12th house expansion is establishing unconscious competence with your own psychic powers. But as far as this Virgo season, it's going to really reestablish and change your mindset around how you're analyzing your worth, how you're criticizing others and your own value, and what kind of real money is made as a result. So I hope that really resonates, Nikki, because as a Cancer sun, Virgo season is like 60 degrees away from that point. But as a Leo rising, you're going to be manifesting that angle in your second, which will change your attitude around now that you've really innovated your legacy with the final conjunction in Taurus, how that really changes things and how this harvests the eclipse we had in March and begins to break it. All right. So next we have Luis. Heyoka. We know you're the Pisces rising. Ooh, and you have Sun, Juno, and Leo. I see you. Okay, as the Aries moon, you are the original king. You are the original lion. You are the original Lion King, and you're a soul reaper. So I do see you. Now, you're coming into your Saturn return. Of course, being born 96 and 97, you guys are leading the charge of the crash out era, the crash out generation, the Pluto Z, the Pluto Sag Gen Z. Okay. You guys are coming of age, which is terrifying. But what's really cool is that you are finalizing Saturn going through your first. And what's really cool, Heyoka, this eclipse we had happened in your first house. And you're going through a nodal opposition. All right. Unlike 1989 and 1988, who's having a nodal return with the North Node Pisces, 1997 and 1998 is going through a nodal opposition. So you actually initiated a new mission 10 years ago, and you're beginning to complete it. You're breaking through it. Your destiny is to use your own divine personality to unlock real social dynamics with others and to really form relationships with others. And you started that 10 years ago, and you're beginning to break through that by unlocking who you are, by unlocking the resources of these same partnerships you've been working on to fully dive deeper into how you lead them and to change your entire belief in yourself. Shauna's view, if you click the description box below, you will see the instructions as well. Really great question. But yeah, you're welcome to send really whatever is needed, as you will see. But yeah, feel free. And please, if you do, email me your chart, or at least just send me your sun, moon, or rising. All right. But yeah, this happening in your first house is nuts. This is actually really freaking awesome, especially because, you know, the nature and the way with which now the eclipse you had in March, you're finally breaking through. Gemini season allowed you to really sprout through the ground ideas about who you are becoming that support and you're comfortable with, that made you uncomfortable at first so you can push yourself to be comfortable with. And then Cancer season, boom, you started to expand it. Saturn in your second house of wealth. Square Cancer in your fifth house was getting ready to now challenge how much more creatively expressive you can express your personality. And by the time you had your solar return, you began to integrate all of that through Leo season. And now it's time to apply all of that towards the relationships you're destined to unlock. So 1997, 1988, and all you other North Node Pisces or Virgos, this is going to be very impactful. Like this eclipse is going to hit you guys so much more importantly than others. You're going to be more of an event space to facilitate this for and with others. And for you, Heyoka, I would not be surprised if you activate new partnerships. If you take existing relationships and you activate more significance in them, where we are over the next 6 months and 3 months, really seeing an entire change of your life through these partnerships. As a Leo sun, this could really be the value and money you're making with the right people. But I can't help but think you're getting prepared for anything as far as marriage, to even Pluto being opposite your sun. So this is another thing. Like you have Pluto that could feel very intense. Like I could imagine you're seeing the evil possess evil people, but you're seeing, of course, like supernatural quality in those who are pure and not taken over by this collective energy. That's another cool thing about being born in the later 90s, because Pluto is awakening these outer planets for you. For you. So yeah, this is pretty dope. Chiron is healing your self-esteem, opposite your Chiron in Libra. So since birth, you're finally breaking through, which could feel like you're owning more of your own worth in yourself. And as you come into your Saturn return by 2027, it's going to feel more complete. So you are getting set up for a lot to unlock your own lifestyle, to venture into this collective unconscious integration of your own. You're a genius, bro. Like Uranus ruling your 12th, you're an ultimate legend. So for the Pisces risings with Uranus in Aquarius, you have nigh omniscience. You have a hidden sense of claircognizance where you can close your eyes and you'll just know how to move around the room. And that is a supernatural ability. So, Virgo season really is going to shape a lot of your relationships moving forward based on the integrity you have maintained around this faith in yourself and moving forward with authority and applying that authority towards and with other people. Okay. So next we have David. Let's see. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. So yeah, as a Cancer sun with the Scorpio rising, right? I would say, of course, let me get this out here. With the Scorpio rising, it's definitely important to know that coming into next year and the year after, right? Okay, Dave. Shout out to Dave. Coming the year after, basically 2026 and 2027, your 10th house is going to be lit up. You're going to have your Jupiter return, and then the South Node is going to unlock your Pluto and the MC. So if you were ever going to retire, it's going to be over the next 2 years. And it's completely supporting this retirement too. So I'm actually excited for you, especially coming into this capacity to really transition in this sense. You're completing what you last started 2018 with the final evolution cycle. So with Pluto, that's going to be opposite your Jupiter on your Chiron. We're going to have the South Node meeting Jupiter in your 10th house of success and legacy. You thinking of retiring is the right move. And that makes me think you're going to achieve success. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, don't be confused. It's JF. Interesting. Wait, who is... Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So hold on. Let me make sure. So I am reading. Oh, okay. So let me make sure I'm doing this right. But it's JF, Dave for me, JF. The chart you gave me, I see for Dave, right? But I'm not entirely sure. Basically, from the chart that I'm reading, from JF, yeah, if whoever's 2018 are the suits retiring, working for 50 years. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, regardless, like this Leo transit for you next year is going to prepare for that. And I can see 2018 are the suits. Oh my God, you started the suit. So you're going to complete it. I can see this coming into completion over the next couple of years. And I guess starting now, uh, oh, I see. Oh, okay, okay, I got you. Oh, so you're JF. Okay. I need to change it. Okay, I put his name there. So let me actually put JF. There we go. So what's really beautiful here though is you're getting hooked up. You're getting hooked up. I think it's very important to know you're completing that. And thank you so much for letting me know 2018 was when you started it, because that will let us know that coming into the next 2 years, you will, of course, complete this process. And this Virgo season is preparing ahead of time to set up these rewards, because now we do know, as a Scorpio rising with Saturn on your rising line, by the way, you do have this South node in your 11th and the North node in your 5th, which is going to really conclude on the 6 months. We unlocked the initial eclipse in March, which is going to facilitate the next 6 months of shifting everything to get you to this completion. So this is like the montage that really starts to have everything change as necessary. But because you have Pluto in this 4th house space, that would be very interesting as to how this already ahead of time transforms the dynamics of your private world and home space to prepare for drastic changes and to prepare for also something like retirement. You said the past 2 weeks, the house had flood, right? You had the house flood. And I can't help but think that that's triggered by this opposition. But thankfully, now that you have maintained the integrity of, you know, what it is you're integrating for yourself and your family, and how you express, you know, what lifestyles are being formed in your routine, in concluding or at least taking care of your health, right? This is going to begin to really conclude and come into an idea of what the next 2 years are going to look like, and to really change your perspective around really where you want to take things and with who as well. Because yeah, Uranus is coming into your 8th. But yeah, Jupiter, that's what I was going to say. Jupiter right now has gone through your sun. It's evolved your sun. It's going through your Mars right now. And it's going to retrograde near Uranus for you. So as this is preparing to return for you, I think this Virgo season will really translate more how you can make room for that by the time we come back around here next year. All right. And this is going to really clear and conclude a lot of what you started last year, your birthday as well. Or, well, no, you had your birthday in Cancer, but the last time we had Scorpio season. But yeah, just bubbles, wax on, wax off. And I think I also want to mention that you do have such a powerful rising. Like, you do have Saturn and Juno. You have the queen goddess Juno on your rising as well, you know? So you carry forth a lot of rulership, royalty. You embody authority and integrity. And I think that adds more to the status and nature of, you know, how powerfully you can really see into people's inner worlds and psychologically help them with what they're feeling through. And thankfully, your moon is in Virgo. The eclipse is going to be exactly on your moon. So you're going to really have a very detailed understanding coming into a week and a half from now in the full moon in Pisces of how everything is really beginning to turn into your favor, especially because of the integrity since you started in 2018 that I think will see you through and prepare for you to integrate the previous Saturn return you had to. All right. So yeah, next we have, of course, Ty. And JF, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was accurate for you. I'm very excited for the next 2 years for you, because it'd be interesting to see how this 10th house legacy completion really sets everything off and will be aligned and is meant to happen amongst other things. All right, so we have Scorpio rising, Pluto 0 degree Sagittarius, so born 95, Saturn return. Now the eclipse, for those of you born 95, is happening on your Saturn. And you are also born Pisces season. So Ty, you're a reaper. You are a reaper. You're a divine slayer. You're a gangster. Okay. And I'm not being sarcastic. You really like that. And this is you now returning these supernatural dreamlike abilities that enable you to reality warp. Yeah. Relative to you really believing in what it is you are deciding. And I think Virgo season is going to allow you more consistency relative to how you apply this perspective towards other people. Now, I'm going to be using the equal sign houses because with Pluto and Jupiter in your first, you do somewhat have Jupiter connected to your second house, which is a house of finances and money and wealth. And this square that's happening in between Virgo that we do see your MC in and Pisces of your IC is going to really break you through into success throughout the rest of this year and coming into the next 2 years. Okay. This year is really going to be the change of perspective where you are understanding how you are facilitating this success and with who. And next year is where now you move forward and apply once the smoke has settled and everything has shifted. The good news is the hard work you already did from your birthday up into this point. And now from now all the way until March of 2026, climaxing December of 2025, January 2026, you're going to experience rapid change as you see the work you've done pay off to prepare for you to step into this next phase and era, especially with Uranus in your seventh, innovating partnerships, having you meet the most random, but maybe even genius of people along your way, and to prepare you to put you more center stage or to really have you reap more from this embodiment of wisdom. But yeah, because we have this Virgo season opposite your Pisces sun and Saturn in Pisces, it's having you apply this authority with Chiron and Virgo that's going to challenge the vulnerability you have achieving success with the right people. And the themes of this is milestone success and preparing you to move based off of these changes as well. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. Not even gonna lie. Nice. Alrighty. Thank you, Ty. So last thing I'll say, by the way, for you is this is going to really change the way you behave with others and what kind of goals you're making, what kind of career success you're coming into, how this changes your perspective and give you the game plan, sauce, and strategy on how to achieve what you're meant to achieve during this period. So that by the time we come back around towards Scorpio season and Sagittarius season, you see yourself in an entirely new light, especially with Jupiter that's coming around to complete this evolution cycle and evolve your partnerships, and then really now shift your foundation, really moving forward by the time you get back to your birthday. So yeah, I'm going to end this live right here. It looks like we're done with the live readings. You guys stay blessed as always. Thank you very much. I think tomorrow we're probably going to do the cosmic energy tune-up. So we will reconvene then. And yeah, until next time.